Hello, everybody. My name is Alan. Welcome back. It's that time again. Let's talk some more metal. Today, I thought I would do a quick look at some first wave of Swedish heavy metal material. Haven't revisited that scene in a little while, so I think it's high time we did so. Pulled a few 12-inch items instead of just looking at singles this time. Thought we'd look at some larger format material. Got three in particular that I'm going to show off, play a few clips, and see what you think. All right, first up we have this. It's a 12-inch EP by a band called Mindless Center. Now, the cover art, that's a thing that's happening. Doesn't really look like 80s heavy metal. Almost looks kind of more like late 60s, weird Rosemary's Baby movie poster. If it's a really low budget movie, I don't know. So yeah, cover art doesn't exactly inspire a lot of confidence here, but it's actually a very solid release. Very solid first wave of Swedish heavy metal. Let's go ahead and take a listen to the clip Broken Freedom. All right, so yeah, that's Mindless Center. The EP's from 1983, and all the songs on it are very solid. Some first wave of Swedish heavy metal tends to be a little bit lightweight for my tastes, but this one hits a really good sort of middle of the road consistency to it. The band did go on and release a couple of albums a few years later. I think they had albums in 86 and 89. I have never really stumbled across those. I don't know if the band changed directions and went to a more commercial AOR sound, if they played the same kind of material, or what the heck happened. But they did get more material out, but there was a little bit of a gap between the EP and the album. Sometimes that makes you a little bit suspicious about what might be on those later albums. But hey, if the later material is really good, and I've just never happened to hear it, let me know in the comments down below. All right, just want to move right along here and cover our second album for the night. This is one I've had for a long time and really like. It's by a band called Proud. The album is called Fire Breaks the Dawn. Great album title, that. This is when I first came across on old vinyl mail order lists back in the mid-90s, and it always got really good little write-up blurbs in some of those catalogs. Now, of course, they're trying to sell you the record, so they're going to hype it a little bit, but always liked the record title. The descriptions always appealed to me. And so at some point, I did order it from one of those, and it turned out it was a very solid album. In particular, it's got really nice guitar work throughout it. They do a great job with some of the guitar interplay. I'm going to play a little clip here from my favorite track off the album, which is called Echoes of the Past. Or sorry, Echoes from the Past.
For your life again, or is it just
All right, so there's a little segment from Proud. Really cool song. I love the guitar lines they use in the chorus of the song there. Uh, Proud was not a small local release. You might have noticed on the cover there, but this was put out on EMI. So the band had at least some label backing. They never did release any other material. There's a couple of demos from right around 1983, 1985. But yeah, the one album from 1984 is all they ever got officially released. They do have some compilation appearances, and I think at least one of the tracks is on like a Warner compilation. So again, they had some connections. These weren't being put out on one of the really small first wave of Swedish heavy metal record labels like Pang Records or something like that. But unfortunately, the band didn't come back around for a sophomore effort. Don't know if they just didn't do well enough, if the band fell apart, or whatnot. But it's a really solid album. It's also one that back in the day made a good connection with a really nice guy named Chris up in the Raleigh-Durham Research Triangle area. Back in the days of the Metal Maniacs online forum, one day this new guy popped up using the fairly cool name Wizard of Magma. And one of his first posts ever was asking for information about, has anybody ever heard of a Swedish band called Proud? And I replied, yes, I have. What would you like to know? And yep, that started a good friendship. Chris and I traded records and tapes, got each other into a lot of cool albums. Chris, if you're still out there, give me a holler. You never call. You never write. I have no idea what you're doing these days, but I hope you're doing well. Okay, I'm going to touch on just one more item for this video. I'm going to keep this one kind of short. And this one is a little later. I'm cheating here a little bit that this isn't really first wave of Swedish heavy metal, but it's an interesting album and I wanted to include it. And it's the 12-inch, originally an EP by the band Detest. So a little heavier name, kind of a funky cover here. You either kind of love it or hate it. I think I can kind of dig the little dude there crouching on the rocks, waiting to, I don't know, club somebody that climbs up the stairs. I don't know. There's a story here somewhere, though. So yeah, this came out in 1990 and then got reissued on CD by Stormspell in 2012 with a bunch of bonus tracks. I'm going to play a clip from the song Thundersteel. So we'll check that out and then we'll talk about this a little bit more. All right, there's a taste of Thundersteel by Detest from 1990 in Sweden. The original 12-inch vinyl of this is a pretty scarce item. It's one of the harder to find things from the first wave of Swedish heavy metal. Not a lot of copies have ever turned up. It's not one that I've ever owned. But yeah, it was cool that Stormspell was able to track the band down, get it reissued with a lot of bonus material. Stormspell put out another collection around 2017 that has some additional material. It sounds like, from what I know of that release, they are some songs that the band had worked on back in the day, but hadn't necessarily finished. And so it's the old material, but it has been touched up a little bit here and there to, finish adding some of the solos and lyrics and things like that. Haven't heard that one, so I can't say much else about it. As far as the Thundersteel EP goes, it's a really weird listen. Now, the track we just played, that is some really awesome European epic heavy metal. That's a great track. What's odd here is the other tracks don't really follow in that same style. The tracks are kind of all over the place stylistically. You've got Chains of Hell is a bit heavier. Steinhurst Chainsaws is a heavier one. Some of these songs are getting more borderline thrashy sounding. You've got Thundersteel with kind of the epic vibe there. And you've got Crossfire, One Too Many. The band's kind of all over the place in terms of a particular type of metal they were wanting to play. Nothing wrong with that necessarily. It just makes for sort of a weird listen that you hear this first song and it feels like you're settling into, sort of, Manowar territory or something. And you don't really have another song that's really strongly in that mold among the others. So just be warned, if you do pick this one up from Stormspell, it's a nice package reissue, but you're going to hear a lot of different styles among the track list. It's not all going to be that sort of galloping epic metal like the clip I just played. I think it's the best song on there by far, but the others aren't bad. It's just that they kind of jump around a bit. Okay, so going to keep it short tonight. I don't have a lot of 12-inch material to show off for first wave of Swedish heavy metal. Most of what I have are singles, but I think I'll save those for another video another time. So we'll keep this one short, and instead, let's talk metal in the comments down below. Any other 12-inch Swedish items that deserve a shout out? Maybe they'll make it into the next video, or maybe they're ones I don't know and you need to tell me about so I can go check them out myself. All right, with that, let's call this one to a close. Everybody take care, and until next time, remember to keep banging your head.